Sourdough's pre-digested.
I know, it's just anything fermented. It's just like, don't eat. Yeah, it's pre-digested. Oh, I don't want you to mama bird me this food. So like a cow chewing its cud. It's just like, thanks. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to Sometimes Shimada Slaps. Hello.
We're on some crackhead energy today because we just realized an entire episode recorded through my computer audio and not the microphone.
Ooh.
So that'll affect when this episode comes out.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Cross your fingers that I'm a technological wizard and I can fix that.
Manifest that.
Yeah. Manifest with me.
Journey is a rap god and a tech god.
Amen, Kayla. There's the title. Oh my gosh. Pray to the tech gods that they bestow Journey with their gifts.
Oh, but you don't care about that.
No.
Anyways, how's it going?
How you doing?
Hope you're doing well.
Yes. Hope we've had insanely warm weather this fall.
Ridiculous.
It's absolutely delightful. I'm
ridiculous.
Thriving.
I'm nervous.
Yes, but I'm like refusing to acknowledge the fact that it's going to be any colder than usual in the wintertime. Because they're like, oh, it's going to be like minus 50. But I'm like, it's minus 50 every year.
That's true.
Really?
That's true.
So,
yeah.
Denial? Is that what that's called?
I think so.
Maybe. I'm fluid.
I mean, now that we're talking about season change, that's a perfect way to intro. We are talking about seasonal affective disorder.
Yay.
Or SAD.
Sad.
Which a lot of people get knocked in the jaw with.
Definitely.
Around this time 100%. Of year.
Which makes sense. The weather's changing. It's cold. It's dark early. Like
more so in the north, I guess I should specify, right? But it's very common among us northern
Canadians.
Igloo countries such as Canada.
Is that how you say igloo? Igloo?
Do I say it differently?
I heard eggloo, not igloo.
Oh. I didn't think that was like a pillow kind of thing.
I didn't know that it was either. It just sounded weird. Maybe I'm making it up.
Maybe.
Okay, anyway.
That's fun.
Eggloo people.
I didn't notice. Egg. Nice over easy.
Okay.
Oh, let's just get into it because this is going to get too weird.
This is an intense topic and we're just giggling right through it.
All right. So, Journey did some fun research. I have like briefly touched on SAD in my studies throughout school and nutrition and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Journey did lots of research to get her bearings on it. So I'm going to let her take reign of what it is, symptoms and whatnot. Yeah. And then I'm going to follow up with some nutrition advice and lifestyle advice in regards to how you can help yourself if you are feeling the effects of seasonal depression.
Yeah. And it was kind of because we were going to do this episode and I feel like I'm definitely affected by it, but I really wanted to know and understand. So I was like, I'm not sure who's doing the research or like how we're going to do this, but I was like, I need to understand even so I can just bring stuff to this topic. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's seasonal affective disorder or SAD. It's just a type of depression that's related to changes in the seasons. And it usually begins and ends at about the same time every year. Mm-hmm. It's most common in the fall and winter than it is in the spring and summer. But there are people who are affected in the spring and summer as well as the winter.
Mm-hmm. And the key indication of seasonal depression and depression is timing. Yeah. If it's coming within a transitional period, that's likely due to the season changes.
Yeah, definitely. That's all for that. little picture. So some of like symptoms, I guess, is like you're feeling listless, you're sad, you're just like down in the dumps for pretty much every day. You've lost interest in activities that you once enjoyed. You have low energy. You're feeling sluggish. You sleep too much, kind of, or you sleep not enough. You crave carbohydrates, which Mac's going to touch on quite a bit. So that can result in overeating and weight gain. You have trouble concentrating. Along with feeling listless, you're also kind of like hopeless, worthless, guilty, just kind of like really negative thoughts. And then, trigger warning. It's obviously depression and suicide, because the next one is having thoughts of not wanting to live. And so I feel like a lot of those symptoms aren't specific to seasonal depression, but to depression just as a whole.
Very much so.
Yeah. And interestingly, like the causes, no one really knows there's not a specific scientific reason. And so they say like your circadian rhythm can kind of influence that, because you have a reduced level of sunlight, and it disrupts your body's internal clock and leads to feelings of depression. Your serotonin levels drop, which again is just the same with regular depression. And the reduced sunlight causes the drop in serotonin. And then it also affects your melatonin levels, which again affects your sleep and your mood, because if you're not getting enough sleep or you're getting too much sleep, it affects how you feel during your waking hours. So basically, it just all kind of relates back to lack of sunlight, it feels like.
For the winter.
For the winter.
And that's what's, I would say, is more common. People feel it is wintertime. Yeah. Anyone who comes up to a northern country, especially if you live close to the equator, for example, right? Yeah. If someone who lives near the equator comes up north for school, they get hit with the winter because they're used to the sun. Even when I went to Finland, it's not much more north, but it's north enough that we only had 4.5 hours of sunlight in the month of November. Oh my goodness. Due to the geographic location, and then also due to how cloudy it is, because we're so close to the Baltic Sea there. Oh, wow. So it was so cloudy, and then so we had 4.5 hours of sunlight in the entire country during the month of November. Wow. Which, let me tell you, I felt that. And that's a big thing, especially when you go up to Nordic countries, is depression. Yeah. Which then in turn leads to substance abuse, like we said, overeating. Yeah. And all the things that make depression worse. Right. Because it's hard to pull yourself out of that slump. Yeah. You want to fall back into what's comfortable and what you know, or what's avoidant and numbing and right whatnot. No, that makes sense. And I found, especially with this year, I feel like my sad hit me in the spring and the summer. I noticed that for the summer I was less happy. Like I didn't enjoy my summer. Yeah. And so I wasn't outside enough. I wasn't I didn't get to experience the summer. I was just inside and working. And so my appetite was weird. My sleep patterns were weird. I was feeling listless. It was just... Well, your circadian rhythm is still affected even with the summer. Yeah. Because we go from no sunlight to nothing but sunlight. Yeah. I mean, not quite. We're not 24-hour days again. Yeah. But there's substantially more. Yeah. Yeah. We go sunsets at 10:30, 11 and rises at 4 a.m. Yeah. Right? So you still have, you're still going to bed when the sun is up. Yeah. It makes waking up a lot easier. It does. But it makes the days longer, which then in turn affects your circadian rhythm and melatonin levels as well. And there's also, you want to talk energetically, right? Yeah. If we want to tap into the spiritual side of things. Yeah. It's too much energy instead of not enough. So it's, so to speak. You're in the winter you have a deficit of energy, and then in the summer you have
an excess of energy.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So in the winter, it seems to be more depression.
Yeah.
In the summer, it's more anxiety.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like with the way people react to
Right.
seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting enough energy, which is depressive.
Yeah.
Versus if you're overstimulated, you generally tend to be more anxious.
Just anxious about everything.
And then with you, the way you were working, you were inside most of the day.
So busy all summer.
And when you were talking about briefing me on this beforehand,
Yeah.
you mentioned how you're used to being outside a lot more.
Yeah.
So it could be withdrawal from what your body was expecting.
Yeah, definitely.
And then didn't receive.
Because normally each summer I try to get a darker tan than my boyfriend who works outside for 10 hours a day in direct sunlight. It's an extremely unattainable goal, but I like to try. But this year I was like, no.
He's getting skin damage though.
Yeah, well... me too. But like I didn't even try because normally I would like on my days off I would like have a cup of coffee and then sit on the deck and drink it. But I was waking up after the time that the sun had left my deck, and so there wasn't even any.
So you're getting no direct sunlight.
No direct sunlight.
Yeah.
And so even I should have just like gone for walks or even just moved my body more, and just so that I was outside getting some vitamin D.
Take your coffee to the park and sit in the sun at the park.
Like I don't necessarily need to sit like my deck's not the only place to get sun in the world. So I could have like gone, but I was so tired from doing everything that the thought of even just leaving my house was exhausting.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get to do any of my fun summer activities. Like I think I only went on like 2 hikes this year. And normally I do way more than that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it was just like, again, it's my first summer working a full-time job. So I don't know if it was just like that's not true. That's a lie. Every summer I've worked. What the heck?
I think it was just maybe the type of work and maybe your brain capacity and
guaranteed days off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have other things to do. So you just don't prioritize it anymore as much as you used to.
Stressful, sad summer.
Yeah.
But I feel
I get, like, we're busy. You have a lot going on.
Life happens.
Right?
But, and it kind of felt like I was looking at sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Some social media influencer. She was like, yeah, I didn't get to do any of my fun summer things. Like I didn't get to go out to the cabin. I had 0 lake days. I didn't get to do anything. It didn't feel like a summer. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah. So, I was busy.
Yes.
But I also had a lot more time off this summer than I normally do. So I personally can't relate because I did get to go to the cabin and I spent 14 days on the water wake surfing. Yeah. And then I did a road trip to Kelowna and like through interior BC with a friend. Yeah. And so I got to do the fun stuff and all before it got smoky. For like those 2 weeks it got smoky.
Yeah, we did have a really not smoky summer, which is kind of nice.
And then I did have certain days off because of various appointments. Right. And so when I was at home healing from said appointments, I would go and read outside or hang out with my dog or do things where I was very much capable of being outside a little bit more. Yeah. Even at work, I would dip out to go outside. I have my breaks outside. I would go outside to water the plants or put away the umbrellas and chairs.
Yeah, it's just because often it's cooler outside than it is in the coffee shop. But yeah.
Go fund me for AC.
Well,
honestly.
Yes. But even then, I'm curious to see how I experience any seasonal depression this year, because my September was my vacation. That was my summer. Yeah. So that's what I looked forward to. Yeah. And so I don't know if it was like self-inflicted, like, okay, I just have to work all summer and then I get this break. Yeah. To kind of...
You got to go outside and it was a little bit less harsh sunlight, but still sunlight.
Yeah, it was still something. I got to go on a hike and do fun things, and I was touring Nova Scotia and outside all the time, even though it was windy and cold and cloudy. But like it was still...
But you're still getting some sun outside. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting.
Another thing, because it talks about vitamin D deficiency is a key player in seasonal affective disorder. Yeah. And sunscreen use can stop absorption of vitamin D.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not absorbing the sun's rays, you're reflecting them.
Right.
And so that's another reason why people can still get seasonal affective disorder in the summer.
Right.
Is if they're like coated in.
And I use the most sunscreen I've ever used this summer.
Yeah.
I also got way less sunburns, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. Do you want melanoma or do you want vitamin D? Like, that's kind of the thing. So, no. So, that's it is another reason that sunscreen does prevent absorption of the sun's rays.
Right.
And so, if you are struggling, if you can go out without sunscreen for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, show as much skin as possible, then go inside and sunscreen up to protect for your day.
Okay.
Make sure you're using a nice healthy sunscreen so you're not putting toxins in your body that you don't need, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, you play that balance with something such as sunscreen. That it's like there are so many benefits and there are so many potential negatives.
Well, yeah, even
depending on how you're doing.
Yeah, in Australia, I was learning about this in one of my anthropology classes, is rickets actually coming back because it's caused by vitamin D deficiency. And because they have the hole in the ozone layer right above them, they're wearing UV protectant clothing. Yeah. So they're not getting vitamin D
at all.
And so rickets is coming back. And so
it's not just rickets. I mean, it's interesting that rickets is coming back.
Yeah.
But it's not just rickets, like osteoporosis, chronic pain.
Yeah.
Those are all things that are affected by vitamin D deficiency.
Right.
But then it's hard to be like, well, just supplement, right? Because you have to be careful with supplementation because it is a fat-soluble vitamin. Over supplementation can lead to toxicity symptoms, which include like excessive thirst and nausea and headaches and...
Right. Diarrhea, diarrhea, was one of them, and like tiredness or like weakness.
Fatigue,
yeah.
Yeah, so those are all things that are symptoms of mild vitamin D toxicity.
Right.
So if you are looking to supplement, make sure you're not going over the recommended dosage level. What is that for you? It depends on where in the world you are.
Yeah.
It depends on how much vitamin D you get. That's why a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of, because I can't list every multivitamin company out there. But there are specific multivitamin companies that just do not put vitamin D in them at all.
Oh.
And you need to add that in on your own.
Like just as a safety thing?
Because of where you are in the world.
Right.
There's no baseline vitamin D for everyone, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because again, someone living in Costa Rica
is going to need way less than someone living in the Yukon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
some things that we can kind of do to like mitigate the impact of it is just like light therapy. And so my understanding of that was finding an alternative light source that kind of emits the same, like, I want to say like wavelengths as the sun kind of. I know my grandma used to have one. She used to turn it on when she was doing her makeup all the time.
Yeah. My mom has one of those for the winter as well.
Right.
While she turns it on while she's in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it mimics the sun's UV rays and like the type of light that's being emitted at that point.
Right.
Because different light wavelengths correlate to different parts of the day. Okay, right. Yeah, and so that's why a lot of people suggest when first thing you wake up, you shouldn't look at your phone right away.
Yeah.
Most of us do.
Yeah.
Because alarms and whatnot. But the waves emitted by your phone correlate to like middle of the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So that's what messes with your circadian rhythm.
Right. And so that's why you shouldn't go on your phone before bed.
Exactly. Use any form of technology before bed.
Right.
Because it messes with the circadian rhythm, which inhibits melatonin release.
Yep.
Because you are staring at this technology that's telling your brain it's the middle of the afternoon.
Right.
You don't need to go to bed.
That's interesting.
And so that's where the concept of blue light glasses also come in. But like, not just like your dinky little Amazon blue light glasses, like
legit.
There are some like heavy duty orange lens blue light glasses that if you are having circadian rhythm issues have been proven to help with blocking the blue light so that your mind can prepare for rest.
Right. Yeah. And it was really, when I first got my blue light glasses, I was working in an office, so I was staring at a computer all day. I noticed a difference immediately.
Yeah, no, I noticed it
was crazy.
Helped with the eye exhaustion
Yeah, definitely. That was huge.
That's why I use it when I'm working at night.
Yeah.
Mostly on my computer. Sometimes in the middle of the day, if I'm staring at my computer doing a lot of work, because I do a lot more computer work than I would prefer to be doing.
Yeah.
I try to balance it out by like, okay, I'm going to read these chapters now, so I'm not just like staring and typing.
Yeah.
But especially with SCS now, right?
Yeah.
When you're watching through videos and you're creating stuff on, like, you're on the computer. And so I was found that by my 4th year of university, I was needing something else.
Definitely.
Because it was just too bright and too much.
Yeah. It definitely was like hurting my eyes, and then you'd get migraines and all fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so we can also do like talk therapy, like even just going to therapy is another one.
And that helps more so with also general depression.
Yeah, and then you can go on antidepressants for it. And then just like supplementing vitamin D. And Michaela has a bunch of nutritional helpfulness.
Yeah. And I am of the mindset of nutrition first.
Yeah.
But if it is so bad, go to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Do something else to help yourself mediate it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say never take this, right? That's not
right.
That's not my decision. That's all on you. I am of the mindset though, nutrition first, lifestyle changes first, and then
even if just
later.
Getting on an antidepressant just so you can get out of bed and be functional so that you can institute those lifestyle changes and like fix your nutrition, but you just need that something to help you.
And find what it is. A lot of people actually also find a lot of benefit with exercise and meditation.
Right.
Because exercise releases the endorphins, which is happy chemicals.
Serotonin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boost your feel good. And then meditation is able to turn inwards, which meditation also, if you do it right, if you know how to like what to do, so you're not just sitting there being like, oh, this is pointless. Because I've been there, I've done that. Googling like guided meditations on YouTube or whatnot, right, also helps. But a lot of that is able to turn inward and have more reflection, which is basically what you would be doing in therapy. But you'd be guided by your therapist, counselor, whatever, over just a meditation app and like doing it yourself.
Yeah, because I think I would find it very difficult to get rid of my negative thoughts, because it would be very difficult for me in that mindset to calm my mind, to just, which I guess is an important reason why you should meditate. But
because it's an exercise. It's exercise for your brain.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of gratitude practice that comes in, and there's a lot of just living in the moment.
Yeah.
Which I think for you, experience that in the summer, I would assume that it would be, meditation would be more helpful for the anxious version rather than the depressive version.
Yeah, because I feel like it wouldn't be too far off to completely turn inwards and completely like withdraw from society. I
find with anxiety, more often than not, you do need to turn inwards and figure out, why am I panicking about this and how can I ground myself?
Yeah.
Where, like I said, depression's like, how can I get myself out of bed? And so you almost need more stimulation from that aspect.
Yeah.
Which is actually why a lot of people turn to carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Because they're quick sources of sugar.
Oh, definitely. And they're quick and easy.
There's also emotional ties to comfort foods, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? Breads, pastas, all of that is comfort.
Yeah.
And or if more people are gluten sensitive than we know. Some of it is very mild, but these sensitivities, gluten acts like opiates in the brain.
Right.
Which in turn leads to withdrawal symptoms from bread, the same way you would withdraw from just about anything else.
Yeah.
Same thing with sugar.
Okay.
Right? Like you can get withdrawal symptoms from sugar.
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of people tend to munch on bread, whatever, immediately feel relaxed. Yeah. And then your mood is level, and then you crash hard, and so you go and eat a giant bowl of pasta then.
Yeah.
Like opiates, whatnot, pop up, you're relaxed, you're chilling, your blood sugar's back to normal, hard crash, same thing again.
Definitely. So then that just made me think about like university. So SAD, I guess, could also be kind of linked to starting schools, all of those stressors, or I guess it would be amplified.
Well, yeah. So that would be that. Those are all like exogenous,
right?
Depression, like those are all things from the outside.
Yeah.
Rather than like an endogenous that is like biochemical in your system.
Yeah.
Trauma, lifestyle factors,
right?
Different things that can bring on depressive episodes.
Okay. Yeah. And then you're like a poor university student. All you're eating is pasta
because all you can afford.
It keeps you, and you feel full when you eat it, even though it doesn't have a long-lasting effect.
Yeah.
I forget where I was going with that, but that was pretty much what it was.
But that's why a lot of people tend to turn to carbs, right? And that's why we have such a carb-heavy system, is because it is cheap and easy and tasty.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot to make a carb food taste good.
Definitely.
And where carb is one of the 3 macronutrients, right? We do need it in our system. More often than not, though, in North America as a whole, we tend to overeat.
Like because carbs in general, or just in general?
Carbs.
Okay, yeah.
Overeat in general too, but but carbs, we are very carb heavy.
Okay.
Part of the reason being the fact that it is such a comfort food, right?
Yeah.
You need heavier foods in the winter if you're talking about seasonal diets.
Right.
Right? Like, imagine eating a giant bowl of pasta when you're in Mexico, right? You're not going to feel great.
No. Yeah, because I feel like you tend towards like salads and sandwiches in the summer because they're light and like cold. And
the water is more water content. You're adding more veggies, more fruits. You're not eating as many stews or roasts or potatoes and da-da-da-da-da.
And then in the winter, we tend to move towards soups and stews and, I guess heavier.
And if you're in tune with that, you eat seasonally, there is a lot of validity to it, right?
Yeah.
You want to go back to hunter-gatherer phase. The foods we're eating now are the only foods that were available to us during the season. So there are certain nutrients, there are certain vitamins, minerals, whatnot. I'm blanking on what I was going to say there.
Yeah.
That come from these foods during this time that help our body prepare for the next season change.
Okay.
And so another theory of helping seasonal depression is following a seasonal diet.
Right.
Only buying foods that are in season.
Yeah.
And eating them during those times to help with the transition and help keep you in tune with nature. Because when we're surrounded by so much artificial light and concrete jungle and whatnot, it's hard to kind of feel grounded and back in nature.
Definitely.
Which then in turn leads to a lot of deficiencies and things that you're missing in your core to keep a stable level mood.
Okay, so with that then, I find that usually in like the middle of the winter, I'm like craving fruit. Is that something that I should lean into, or how do you kind of, like, if you're going to eat seasonally, fruit's not generally in season in the winter. Yeah.
But there are some that are.
Okay.
So what fruit do you crave?
It's usually like a berry, like a strawberry, raspberry, blackberry.
Okay.
Or even grapes.
Okay.
I find. Because I feel, I don't know. I feel like I would crave those in the wintertime more so than I do in the summer.
Okay. Because they're not typically in season. Like blueberries and stuff are typically more spring, summer, and whatnot. But so then the other option for that craving I could see is for the antioxidant properties.
Okay.
Or the magnesium, other vitamins and whatnot that are in them.
Just a different deficiency.
Mm-hmm. But antioxidant being because when you're in the winter, you're keeping out fresh air because it's cold. Yeah. Right? And so naturally you have more toxins in your air circulation and whatnot just from not being the lack of fresh air. And if your house is in a jungle of plants and stuff, you're not going to get it. So the antioxidant properties from that, we have made them very much cozy berries, right? You can have a nice pie or cobbler or whatnot. Yeah. So I guess emotional ties for that reason. Okay. But I would say biggest like certain vitamins that are found in each of those berries. Right. Big thing for like raspberries is magnesium, which tends to get deficient in the summer as well.
Okay. Yeah, I was very magnesium deficient this summer, but that's because I was working out a lot.
No, but yeah, so like that one is that'd be my
Okay, that makes sense.
guess for that.
Because it was just kind of like eat seasonally, but I'm like, okay, but this is what I'm craving. So then my body's obviously wanting something from it, even though it's not in season.
Oh, no. There was an era last winter that I absolutely obsessed with, like, vanilla Greek yogurt with pumpkin seeds and raspberries on it.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing a fitness challenge. I was working out a lot.
Right.
Both pumpkin seeds and raspberries are high in magnesium.
Okay.
So
very interesting.
And iron and other things, right?
Yeah.
But that was like the biggest thing. I'm like, oh, my muscles are like needing magnesium to like relax.
Right.
And then the yogurt there'd be calcium as well.
Yeah.
So you have that calcium magnesium balance in a meal.
Spicy. Okay.
Yeah. But some other fruits that are seasonal to winter, and this is talking more so North America, wherever you are globally, you can look up what fruits come in season or what foods are in season for you.
Yeah.
Apples are big in season for the winter.
Okay, yeah.
Granny Smith, pippin, red delicious, cranberries, dates, all sorts of dried fruits.
Yeah.
Are there?
Cranberries do feel very
There are
Christmassy.
grapes. Grapes are on this list too.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of grapes, I mean, when you talk about wine country right in Kelowna, they grow into the winter. And that's
I
why
didn't know that.
That's why we do ice wine too.
Okay, that makes sense.
But they have to be harvested at a perfect temperature, otherwise it's not ice wine.
The more you know.
The more you know. Kiwi, kumquat, mandarin orange, navel orange, pear, pomegranate, tangerine, watermelon.
Watermelon
It feels
is a
weird.
winter fruit.
It feels weird, hey?
Oh
Those
my
are all
gosh.
winter foods that we can get that are considered in season. I'm assuming probably because of the growing time though, right?
Well, I guess, but like, then why do we only have watermelon in the summer?
Because it's so refreshing.
Yeah. But like,
The high water
I feel like we
content.
don't even have access. Like, I can't go anywhere to buy a watermelon in the middle of winter.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's weird.
That is really weird.
And that could be this book also, like wherever this author was.
Oh, okay.
This is one of my textbooks from my course.
Yeah.
So it could be in season of wherever this author is.
Right. Okay.
But for vegetables, it does specify spinach underneath winter foods, but that's specific to New Zealand. Right?
Okay.
It's not specific to us. We do not get spinach in the middle of winter here. I mean, you can, but we don't.
So do you think then that so Australia will be going into their summer as we're heading into our winter?
Yeah.
Would that list still kind of be the same? Would like their winter fruits be our summer fruits?
It would, based on climate and growing season, right? So some of these things won't be harvested when it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, hypothetically, yeah, you could say that, but I think a lot of it comes with ground temperature and amount of sunlight and the natural life cycle of seeds. Yeah. So I can't say specifically for each fruit. I need to do more studying on seasonal eating because I'm so intrigued by it. I love it.
Definitely. No, it's very interesting.
But for like the winter foods, a lot of the vegetables are things like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, daikon radish, garlic, ginger, all things that potato, onion, rutabaga. They're all things that we make into casseroles and really warm dishes, right?
Yeah,
Think about Thanksgiving dinner.
So good.
Right?
So good.
Like one of my favorite Thanksgiving casseroles is like a rice and carrot casserole.
Oh, interesting. I've never had that.
No, it's my great grandma's recipe.
Yeah.
I don't know how popular it is in Finland now, but we call
back
it Finnish.
in the day it was. Okay.
Yeah. So those are all things that are very warm and very hearty.
Yeah.
And can be made well into stews and whatnot, which is what our body needs at that time. And so, and there's also the concept, like I said earlier.
They're comfort foods.
Comfort foods, and they are coming up at a time when we need their specific vitamins and minerals.
Right.
And so, I mean, if you're talking about the excuse of back to about being a student and not having a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you eat seasonally, they are cheaper because it takes less transport.
Right.
To get them to
easily
you.
Accessible.
So an easy way to start incorporating more fresh fruits and veg and whatnot to get those minerals and vitamins naturally would be to start directing your diet to a more seasonal diet. Because it is local, you're able to get it for a cheaper price than a shipping cost, and that's why you're not paying $12 for an avocado in the middle of winter.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna miss avocados in the winter.
Yeah.
Okay,
so looking into farms in your area, farmers markets,
right.
all of those things would be a really good way to access whole, hearty foods, which you could then turn into like a great veggie bolognese sauce for your pasta.
Yeah.
But you're getting all of those minerals, which you tend to get deficient of in depression and whatnot too.
Yeah, even just like adding like carrots and broccoli and peas and whatever into your pasta sauce. Like I've seen a couple recipes of like moms trying to sneak veggies into their foods.
Yeah.
Whoa, their kids' food. And so they just like blend up a bunch of veggies basically and just put them in their pasta sauce, and then that's just how they get a fully balanced meal.
Yep.
So sneaky.
So sneaky. I guess I'll just touch on quickly some of the main vitamins and whatnot that are associated with or that contribute to depression. So these are all deficiencies in B vitamins, specifically niacin, pyridoxine, B12, and folic acid. Vitamin C, zinc, calcium, copper, iron, magnesium, potassium, and manganese.
Okay.
Omega-3s just support healthy brain function overall.
Yeah.
And so lack of causes your brain to lag and whatnot, and therefore depression.
Yeah.
We've already touched on vitamin D. And then excessive copper and lead have also been shown to contribute to depression.
Yeah.
And this comes more so in, if you're in an older house with copper pipes, right? Your water is constantly doing that. If you're not filtering it out, that's how you would get that excess.
Right.
Same thing with lead. Lead is just from the earth and groundwater and whatnot.
And a lot of this we do talk about in the episode with the bad audio. So hopefully I can recover that and you can hear more about how like heavy metals affect you and how even omega-3s affect your brain and all of that.
Yeah. As far as amino acids, choline, it tends to be reduced.
Right.
Which lessens the creation of acetylcholine, which is huge in your parasympathetic nervous system.
Don't try that again.
Parasympathetic nervous system.
We got it.
Which is major in exciting the neurons specifically, right? Yeah. So again, if you're depressed, you're not getting that firing, you're not getting that excitatory.
Yeah, your neurotransmitters aren't working.
Exactly. It also plays a role. Acetylcholine plays a role in memory, arousal, and attention. Oh yeah,
that's where the fogginess and the groggy and sluggish.
Yep.
Listless, hopeless.
Check. You got it. Yeah.
How many more synonyms can Journey have for that?
L-phenylalanine and L-tyrosine are important for dopamine synthesis, and those tend to be depleted.
Right.
L-tryptophan and 5-HTP for serotonin. So everyone who had turkey for Thanksgiving,
you got your tryptophan.
It is huge in turkey, which is also what makes you sleepy because serotonin helps you relax.
Oh, okay. So where do you get the L-phenylalanine? Alanine.
I can't remember a specific food source in this moment, but it if you're having complete proteins, you will be getting it with that because it is one of the 9 essential amino acids.
Right. Okay. That
so
makes sense.
As long as if you're eating complete proteins, which is most meat sources are complete proteins, but even if you're more of a vegan vegetarian diet, you really need to look into your food combining of grains in order to get complete proteins. Oh, so for example, a big one is mixing specific beans with rice in order to complement to create a whole, which I think is what a lot of people who first start out on vegan vegetarian diets
Yeah.
don't know about and therefore miss, and that's why there's a lot of immediate weight loss and muscle depletion because they are missing out on these complete proteins which inhibit absorption.
Right. Yeah, because when I would like to do these challenges when I was in high school, and so I'd be like, I'm gonna be vegetarian for a week, and my mom hated it because I wasn't supplementing a protein. I was just eating our carbs and our veggies. There was no proteins in it. Yeah. Because she was like, okay, eat these seeds, eat these beans. I was like, no, those are gross.
Yeah.
And so then...
And, like, you can get enough adequate proteins on a vegan diet. You just have to know amounts and what to combine to get it, which is a lot difficult, and a lot of people are missing out when they first start these diets.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, mom's like, you're not allowed to do that anymore. You are not nice. And I'm like, thank you.
No, that's also though like why some people who do follow a vegetarian diet, for example, tend to go lacto-ovo. Okay. Because they will get proteins from eggs and dairy products as well.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
But the key thing to highlight is if you are vegan, you need to make sure that you know what a complete protein is combined of. Yeah. And there are all sorts of lists and whatnot out there that do show like mix rice and beans, mix legumes and oats, and mix
and so then is like tofu then considered a complete protein, or do you still, I guess it's soy, right?
Yeah. Can't say for certain in this moment if it is complete, but it is a popular protein source. Same thing with tempeh, because it is a fermented soy protein product. Okay. And that's the key thing, is that it's fermented, so it's pre-digested. So anything that's like negative about soy is minimized, reduced from these.
I hate that the term fermented means pre-digested. I didn't like that at all. I'm sorry, that made me so uncomfy.
But same thing with sourdough. Sourdough is pre-digested.
I know, it's just anything fermented. It's just like, don't eat. Yeah, it's pre-digested. Oh, I don't want you to mama bird me this food. So like a cow chewing its cud. It's just like, thanks. Thank you. Sorry, that's just where I went. Yeah. I was like, I don't like that term. I don't like that at all.
That's fair. Yeah. So those are the highlighted deficiencies and excesses that I have for micronutrient related.
Yeah. The last kind of conversation that I wanted to have was about the daylight savings time, because there's a big like conversation around it right now and getting rid of it. So in the States, I think they got rid of it. Or so they're like in a permanent daylight savings time.
There are certain places in Europe that are like, Russia doesn't do it.
Right.
Specific provinces in Canada don't do it.
Yeah, Saskatchewan and the Yukon, I found. But like they did a estimation or something, and it was found that January 1st, 2023, if we got rid of daylight savings time, the sun wouldn't rise until 10 o'clock in Alberta. And so they're like trying to kind of figure out if that's better or worse, because a lot of people find that switching times twice a year disrupts sleeping patterns. That's pretty much it. Which can then like snowball, I guess, into other things. But they were kind of, I'm against it. I think that's silly. But I don't like change.
About changing it, or about not?
Making it permanent. Because I don't see that the sorry. I don't see that the benefits of keeping a permanent daylight savings time outweigh the cons.
The main reason why Saskatchewan opted for it is so that it doesn't affect the cows. Because it messes with their circadian rhythm. You looked at me like I'm a psychopath. No, because then it messes up with their circadian rhythms and their feeding time, which then in turn affected the meat and the production of all of that.
Yeah, so
well, yeah, and like in Russia, I don't know why Russia didn't do it. I just noticed that they didn't do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I found that the reasons were weird. They were just like, yeah, like, it'll be dark for an extra hour in the morning, but that means there'll be less crime at night. But, like, your kids are going to be standing in the dark waiting for the bus, which is also kind of dangerous. But it's okay because less people are going to get robbed at the nighttime.
That's weird.
Yeah, they're like, it decreases crime because it's lighter longer in the evening. And I'm like...
Which I get, but that's also a weird reason to reduce it. Like,
crime can happen in the morning because it's still dark in the morning. It's just less likely than the evening.
But if crime is your only reason for cutting out daylight savings,
and they're like,
that's
and rush specific. Hour, because supposedly the morning rush hour is less dangerous than the evening rush hour, because in the evening rush hour everyone's tired from work. There's more alcohol in their systems. They're just like antsy to get home,
which I get.
And like I understand that. So then having it lighter longer, and then they say that it allows for more time in the afternoon to play and shop, and because they say that businesses are affected by it being darker earlier, which I get, but then that means shops would have to stay open later, which is then depriving their workers of having...
Well, they don't have to stay open later.
I guess so, yeah, but...
I mean, it also gives you, like, if we were able to get off work and there'd still be an hour of light, would you take that?
It would be really nice, but I don't... Like, I like the way that we switch for the season. Because I don't want it to be dark at 8 o'clock in the summertime. I want it to be light at 6. I'm okay if it's dark at 8 o'clock in the summertime or in the wintertime because there's less daylight hours, period.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that because I thought it was really interesting.
I'm indifferent when it comes to it. I've been in places where they just don't do it. I've been in places where they do. It makes minimal difference to me.
Yeah.
I mean, once you do the change, it messes me up, which I don't care for.
Yeah.
But are those couple of days really make it or break on my opinion for this? It's really not.
Yeah. No, I didn't understand the reasoning of why this was even a conversation that people were having. Like, I didn't see it as an issue. So let me know if I'm out to lunch or if you agree or like if you have a better understanding of why maybe this would change. I tried to do some research, but I couldn't really find any like reputable sources.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, I think it'd actually be interesting though to do some more like of a what's the word? Macro study? That's not right. What large scale study?
I don't know.
Anyways, on the places that already just don't do it.
Yeah, because
to see if there's any
prevalent.
Exactly.
Because I feel like that would happen. Yes, there'd be more time in the evening, but it would really mess you up in the summer, I feel like.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
Right, you don't know until you know.
I don't know. And I guess, obviously, it's not permanent. If it's not working, we can just switch it back. But that's a lot of, like, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Which is what they're mad about anyways. So, I don't know. That's my opinion. I just wanted to talk about it because I just was baffled.
Interesting. No, but it is an interesting concept, though, because it does affect your circadian rhythm and whatnot, so...
Yeah, there's definitely an adjustment period, but I feel like it doesn't mess me up for the entire season.
Yeah.
You know? Unless your phone... One day, my phone didn't change, and so my alarm... Luckily, it went off an hour earlier than it was supposed to. So I was, like, at my friend's house an hour early. And I was like, hey, like, why aren't you guys ready to go? And they're like, Journey, it's 8 o'clock. And I'm like, no, it's 9. And they're like, no, Journey, it's 8 o'clock. And they like show me their phones. And I was like, why didn't mine change? So I was just really tired that day. Yeah. But now I'm paranoid about that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. So I guess before we do our segment, I'm going to leave you guys with some just overarching guidelines that help reduce mild to moderate depression.
Okay, amazing.
So first one being get all of the appropriate nutrients from whole foods.
Yeah.
Supplement where needed, but whole foods are the most or preferred source.
Yeah.
Avoid chemicals and junk food as much as possible, being that they lead to withdrawal symptoms, which can exacerbate depressive feelings. Rotate foods and avoid reactive/allergen foods. Allergen for the same purpose of withdrawal, and inflammation. Inflammation also does contribute to depression because it affects both the first and the second brain. Second brain being your gut.
In your stomach. Brain in your stomach.
I love it. In the form of cytokines. Cytokines can actually block the tryptophan's conversion to serotonin.
Right.
Which will then lead to a reduced amount of serotonin in your brain.
Because cyto means destroy, right? Because if you're going through cytokinesis, it's the destruction of your cells.
And so cytokines are that.
Yeah, okay. No,
right?
Makes sense.
And 90 to 95% of your serotonin is produced in your gut. So that's kind of a big one.
That's so crazy.
So inflammation is kind of a big issue in regards to mental health.
Definitely.
And even other things like chronic pain and whatnot. It's all from inflammatory foods, which comes from refined sugars and carbohydrates and allergen foods and chemicals.
Right.
Endocrine disruptors.
Yep.
So all things like that. So the next point is watch sugar and refined food intake. Same reason.
Yep.
Minimize alcohol and caffeine intake because both of those are also inflammatory.
Definitely.
So a lot of people tend to resort to more caffeine in the winter to get up.
Right.
If you can actually reduce it, it's better for you.
Right.
Go to things like herbal teas and clean water.
Right.
As much as possible because the herbal teas will give you some other nutrients. Even things like green tea. It has caffeine.
It's a different kind of caffeine, though, isn't it?
It's an anxiolytic, so it actually reduces anxiety as well. Because it has a lot of the, I believe it's phytonutrients.
Okay.
That
sounds about right.
That bring it down to, it's an anxiolytic.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. Eat adequate amount of proteins is huge.
Yeah.
Because that gives you all of the precursors, amino acids to creating those neurotransmitters that are so necessary for happy.
Yes.
To feel happy. So up your protein intake, reduce your carbohydrate intake, and up your veggie intake to get a bunch of those other micro minerals and whatnot.
Right.
Consume fresh fruit and veg and nuts and seeds. Fresh fruits, again, have some healthy sugars and whatnot, and as well as vitamins, minerals.
Yeah.
Nuts and seeds have a lot of the healthy omegas and healthy fats that your brain needs to be happy.
Right.
And then lastly, eat whole grains, legumes, and sprouts. Whole grains are better than refined because you are getting the seed like more so from the ground.
Right.
It's not as processed. There's not as many vitamins and minerals out of it because of the processing.
Yeah, it's
time. It's holding on to some more nutrients that you do need.
Yeah.
And then, legumes and sprouts. Sprouting's also a really good way because it also kind of pre-digests it. You don't have to break down the outer shell of the seed, for example, or the sprout. It's already done.
Yeah.
But you're just getting all of the concentrated nutrients of it. When you wait for a sprout to grow to full term, you're losing nutrients because it's taking more time.
Yeah.
When you have to break down the seed, you're losing nutrients because you have to take time to breaking it down.
Right.
So sprouting is actually a really easy way to get a lot of vitamins and minerals.
Interesting.
Just adding some sprouts into your salad.
Yeah.
And you can sprout at home easy enough.
Yeah.
Too. There are so many people that do it, and you can have fresh sprouts daily to supplement that.
Yeah, Mac makes a beautiful avocado toast with, what is it, like alfalfa sprouts or something?
Alfalfa and radish.
Yeah, it just looks so good.
Yeah, mashed avocado, alfalfa and radish. And then I did pineapple salsa the day you were there.
Yeah.
But another one is, my go-to classic is pomegranate seeds.
Yeah.
Which I recently found out that acidic fruits and veg are actually best to help with the absorption of avocado.
Really?
And so it's kind of funny that I crave pomegranate seeds and pineapple with my avocado.
Speaking of like predigestion, when you brought that pineapple salsa over for supper the other night, Spencer was like, "Oh, what is this?" And you're like, "It's pineapple." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I love it when my fruit eats me back."
Yeah. Well, that's from the bromelain.
I know, because it like digests whatever. And I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
We love bromelain.
Yay!
Except if you're allergic to it, but we do love bromelain. It's very good for your health, gut health.
Get that digestion going.
Yeah, and papayas for papain.
Ew.
It's really good.
Papayas are so gross.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Have you only had papayas in North America, though?
Probably, because I won't try them anywhere else because they're still yucky.
No, you need to try Caribbean papayas. It is stupid good.
Oh my goodness. I could maybe try a bite, but they
We're
were
going
just...
to the Caribbean. I'm going to eat so much papaya, and I'm going to force you to try at least one bite of papaya. When I would spend time like in the Bahamas,
Yeah.
I loved papaya. I ate it every day. It's so good.
Huh.
And the papain's really good for you. So
No, thank you.
yeah. And that's what we have on seasonal affective disorder, which then kind of a lot of the nutritional advice is relevant for just general depression as well.
Yeah.
Of course, if you are going through chronic or if none of these are helping in full,
Yeah, definitely seek
talk
out
to
a
your professional.
therapist. Yeah.
And what I am giving isn't medical advice. It is just education for nutritional support.
Yeah.
If you are going through this and you do want to start supplementing and whatnot, talk to a professional, right? Because there is the risk of toxicity for certain vitamins. There is the risk of if you are on other medications,
yeah.
Supplementing can neutralize the other medications, which can cause further health damage for you.
Yeah.
So
Well,
before
that's
you
something with birth control, even taking certain, I think it was literally like B vitamins.
yeah.
That can make it stop. St. John's wort stops it. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that they really have to.
And that's one thing I didn't touch on is herbs, because again, herbs are more likely to interact with medication.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm promoting whole food sources, because they don't affect it as much, but you are still getting that support.
Right.
Is once you supplement, and then I find a lot of herbal therapies where they can be so beneficial, you do need to talk to a master herbalist and to make sure that you're dosing them right.
Yeah.
So St. John's wort is one of those things that has been proven to help with depression, but the dosage, it can be so messy with your brain.
Yeah.
That I can't speak on that. I haven't studied herbalism enough to start promoting that. But just overarching themes of nutritional support to help make your brain happy again.
Yay.
That's the goal.
That's what we like. Yeah. So now we're going to just kind of do a segment. Would you rather segment?
Because Would You Rather was kind of fun the last time we did it. So.
And we got feedback that people liked it, so we'll do that.
Ooh, these are bad.
Oh, what are you on? Did you click the link that I put on there? Yeah.
I did.
There's some good ones.
Ooh. Okay.
Just us. Ooh, wow. No, that one's crazy. Just not sharing.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
Would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life or toothpaste?
Toothpaste, because you can just use baking soda.
Okay.
And I need to wash my
And
hair.
charcoal.
Yeah.
Yep. I regret that. I regret that.
I regret that.
I respect that. I respect that. Okay.
Okay. Would you rather be a high school teacher or a clown?
High school teacher.
Yeah, I do not. Clown gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. I'm not the honky nose type. I'm more of the...
Not the honky nose type.
I'm more of like the cool high school psychology teacher type.
Yeah, I'd like to teach math.
Of course you would. Who the fuck?
It's because I helped all my friends through high school math.
Who wants to teach math?
Me, because I want to teach specifically grade 10 math, because my mom got me the wrong textbook in grade 8. She got me the grade 10 textbook. So I did grade 10 math, grades 8, 9, 10, and then first year university.
I almost failed grade 10 math.
I was like, I could have helped you.
No, I'm like find me teaching like a nutrition program or a psychology or both.
Well, I like math because it feels easy to mark, because there's a right answer and there's a wrong answer. It's not like English where you have to like look for the subtext and like, I don't know.
I like the general.
Hard.
Are you creative? Did you follow within the guideline? Did you hit all the main points?
No, I'm like, did you get x equals 7? No, wrong.
As someone who spent a lot of time marking growing up, I can get it. It's easy to mark. Like my mom got me to do marking for her. It was like, here's the answer sheet, yes or no.
Yeah.
I couldn't mark like the English things or whatnot, so I was marking math and science and whatnot.
But I guess English is my weakness.
I know, I thrived.
Yeah.
English AP. I was able to BS my way through that class.
No, not me.
Ooh, would you rather have to write everything you say out by hand or only be able to speak in rhymes?
Only be able to speak in rhymes. Oh my goodness.
The amount of times I talk,
Literally.
whew, my hand muscles.
Oh my gosh, it'd just be swole. Okay. Would you rather be able to control animals or be able to see into the future?
See into the future. I know yours is animals because you hate the future.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that I could like see into the future and not just like panic.
It would raise your anxiety.
Yeah.
I already know your answer. Don't even give me that face of thinking.
Deep thought.
Would you rather listen to an annoying laugh for a whole day or get tickled for 1 hour?
Annoying laugh. Do not tickle me.
I'm not responsible for your injuries.
If you tickle me, I hate it because it's a very specific like fear of I can't get you to stop tickling me, and that freaks me out. I'm like, no, and I don't like this.
I think I'm the same way. I think tickling just hurts after a while.
Yeah, it's just not fun. Would you rather take care of the Beast from Beauty and the Beast for the rest of your life or have Gaston as your boyfriend?
Oh, take care of the beast.
Yeah, right?
I would probably murder Gaston.
Such an easy question.
Oh, you drive me insane. There's
He's
no way.
a pompous asshole.
There's no way. Would you rather have your only mode of transportation be a donkey or a giraffe?
That's tough.
Giraffe.
Having owned a donkey, I'm going to have to go with giraffe.
Giraffe would be fun.
But I feel like the saddle would be weird because their back is so sloped.
Yeah, but donkey, I might as well walk. My feet will probably touch the ground.
And they're so lazy. Yeah. Would you rather be reincarnated as a sea creature or an airborne creature?
Ooh. Probably a sea.
Yeah.
I think it's more to explore. I'd probably be a whale.
Be a whale.
People just tend to leave whales alone.
That's pretty true. I think I would go almost air.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just seems fun.
I can see that.
I don't know, though. That's tricky. But I'm feeling air for no reason other than that's what I feel.
Actually, if I got the choice to be reincarnated into what kind of sea creature, I'd be in like one of those sea creatures that live in like the unknown parts of the sea.
With the little light?
I mean, maybe not quite. I think it'd be something a little scary.
That's gotta be a visual. I apologize.
Well, that way you can just totally be like left alone and you can just like chill.
Yeah.
Kronk?
Grog.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's funny.
Funny.
Would you rather have a pet tiger or a pet lion?
I just read that one. And I skipped over it because it's too hard.
Lion.
Tiger.
Why?
I want a tiger. I don't know. I like their paws.
Okay.
And their stripes. Would you rather live in reality for the rest of your life or be in the Matrix for the rest of your life?
Reality.
I don't know what the Matrix is.
It's like a digital perception of.
Okay, then definitely reality. I've never
where
seen
like
the
you
movie.
can live in like a real, so to speak, but it's like kind of like the metaverse. That makes sense.
Yikes! No, thank you. Would you rather get your wisdom teeth pulled or your butt cheeks pierced?
I mean, I just got my wisdom tooth pulled, and
honestly, I'd rather get my butt cheeks pierced. Even though I've had them pulled, it was not fun.
I know it wasn't fun, but
because piercings heal.
But it's just so weird. You can't sit down.
I guess so.
And like the risk of infection, I'd rather just do the wisdom tooth
again. Would you get like a stud or a hoop?
It would be more like an implant.
Oh, I guess so. A girl came into the coffee shop, but she had an implant right on her forehead, and I really wanted to ask her how it worked because I do not understand.
It's an L-shaped.
Hooked. Oh, really?
Hook. Yeah. And so when they reject, it kind of rips through your skin like that way.
Oh my gosh, really?
So you have to be careful with it if your body rejects it.
Yikes, that's very scary.
Yep.
Okay.
Would you rather have 5 half-sized clones of yourself or 1 full-size clone of yourself?
I think full size. It seems
Would you rather have a twin or minions?
When you put it like that. Minions.
I'm gonna go half-size. Another full-size me would be scary.
That would be a lot, actually. Mac and Jubes.
Mak Jubes.
Yeah, literally. We're like,
funny.
No, I want a big one. Would you rather have a hook for a hand or a peg for a leg?
Peg leg.
Yeah, it just feels easier.
I like my hands. I like I do too much detail.
Like the dexterity of 2 hands.
Would you rather be trapped in a rom-com with your enemies or trapped in a horror movie with your friends?
A rom-com.
No, horror movie.
Oh my gosh, no.
I love Screamfest.
I'd be the first one to die. It's not fair.
I would not.
And I don't know who my enemies are. So.
But you want to be like in a rom-com? I guess I was like.
I tend to. I like romantic and funny better than I like scary.
I love scary.
No, thank you.
I mean, actually, so yeah.
Especially if it's scary directly to me.
When you break it down, like being in like a Saw episode with my friends wouldn't be really fun. It'd be really just mentally distraught.
Yeah.
But being in like a quiet place with my friends could be a little more fun.
But I think it's like, are you gonna watch your friends die then?
Pretty much.
Like, that's not fun.
But same, it's also not fun to be trapped in like a lovey-dovey rainbows and butterflies with people you can't stand.
I guess so.
Like that would make me go into psychosis.
I guess so. I think I still keep my answer.
Okay. Because
I can pretend I don't have any enemies.
We'll do one more. I can just live in delusion. We'll do one more each, I think, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay. Would you rather be in an elevator full of noisy high school students or an elevator full of judgmental middle-aged men?
Judgmental middle-aged men. I'm not scared of them.
That's true. Teenagers are so scary. They're so loud.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like they'll be quiet. The air will be tension, but it won't be obnoxious.
It'll be uncomfortable.
And they're not going to do anything stupid if you're stuck in an elevator.
That's true.
Teenagers are going to do something, you're like, oh, let's all jump at the same time, and suddenly you're in the basement.
That's a true fact. You swayed me. Middle-aged men.
Like, holy fuck. I'm going to lose it.
Think for a moment.
Would you rather be able to time travel within a certain range or be able to freeze time?
Oh. I'd like to time travel.
I think I would freeze time.
But how does that work?
Like,
is it like the movie Click or whatever?
Kinda, yeah.
Where everyone else freezes but you?
Yeah. Give myself some more time to just do things.
Oh, that's true.
Because I always say I don't have enough. There's only 24 hours in a day and I don't have enough time. If I could just pause it and just accomplish all of my tasks.
But if you could just travel back in time knowing what you need to do at the beginning.
Then I have to relive it at the normal speed though.
Yeah. But you already know what you need to do, so there's less stress of like figuring out what you need to do. You come in fully equipped.
I also feel like going back and forth in time though is kind of like daylight savings. It's just going to mess with you more. If you're able to just be like, nope, pause.
I guess so.
I need a nap. I'm going to take a nap for an hour. Everything's going to pause. It's still going to be 12:30 by the time I wake up. And I can continue on with my day.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. My answer's still time travel though.
All right. Well,
thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry I interrupted you again.
No,
I'm so bad for that.
We have this issue. We've been noticing we talk over each other.
Quite a bit.
And not in like a rude way, just in a, we both have something to say.
Well, it's that like, I know what Michaela's saying, but I know that my mic's going to pick up what I'm saying. So I can say what I'm thinking and it'll just come through my mic.
Yeah.
But then I forget that there's video and people will see that my mouth is moving. So if I just like cut my audio, it's just weird.
Well, I am Mac Joy.
And I'm It's Jubes.
And we are Sometimes Ciabatta Slaps on TikTok, Instagram. Our website is sometimesciabattaslaps.com, where we do have all of our audio and video links there. Our YouTube is Sometimes Ciabatta Slaps.
Yep.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate, review on whatever mode you are listening.
Anything you use, yep.
Yep. It helps us big time. It bumps us up on the search bar.
Yeah, leaderboards.
And even if you hate us, just like give us some love and then go on your way, right? No need to hold on to that spite.
If you don't like what we talk about, just don't listen.
Yeah. But, you know.
Easy peasy lemon squeezies.
Save yourself some energy. While you're here, you might as well just give us a little 5-star and a little bit of a like.
Exactly. Just give us a thumbs up.
Quick little sneaky like. That'd be fantastic.
I'm here for the sneaky likes, not the sneaky links.
Awesome. And yeah, that's it for Seasonal Affective Disorder. If you have any episode ideas that you want to hear from us, we do have a forum on our website that you can communicate to us through.
Or if you have any like comments about what we've talked about, or if you have any like like additions kind of
anything we missed,
or if we got something wrong, let us know. We can kind of fix that. I think that's where I'm going with that.
Sounds good.
All right, well, thank you.
Have a great day.
Have a great life.
Bye.
Bye.